Denise Romero, followed by Samantha Hernandez.
Welcome, Ms. Romero.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. This is my first time attending a meeting.
Welcome.
I've been a resident of Menifee for almost 12 years now. Beautiful city. What I've come here for today is to bring up something that happened on November 1st. I understand that it is not within Menifee's jurisdiction. This has to go to the sheriff, to the school board, but my teenager was struck by a vehicle on November 1st on Wickard Road. I am here to petition for added safety measures around Liberty High School. From the information that was gathered, From the information that was gathered by parents and students alike, reception in that area was spotty and it took longer than necessary for emergency services to arrive. Students regularly cross the street on Wickard Road to reach their ride home, and oftentimes they do not do so on a marked walkway. So here's what I would like to ask. Adding road safety measures on Wickard Road in the form of either school signs, speed limit signs, more stop signs, stop lights, crosswalks, and even speed bumps, anything to slow down a driver in a school zone. Increased cell service near the school. In addition, I ask that the sidewalks and stop signs be added on Garbani Road for the safety of the kids who walk or bike to school, as this is a country road and vehicles speed on this road daily. Lastly, transportation services are not available to kids who reside less than 5 miles away from the school. It is these same kids that walk or bike to school and do so on both Garbani Road and Wicker Road. So how can we make public transportation available to the kids living less than 5 miles away from Liberty High School? That is all. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Romero. We appreciate you.
Samantha Hernandez, followed by Linda Blanche.
Welcome, Ms. Hernandez.
Hi. Okay, I wrote everything down because I ramble. Hello, council members, citizens. My name is Samantha Hernandez, and I'm a special needs pediatric nurse that serves within Menifee City. I have been a resident of Menifee since 2020. I am raising 2, soon to be 3, children in this beautiful city, and I am standing here today disheartened, upset, and concerned. At the beginning of this month, a student at Liberty High School was struck by a vehicle, as you were just told. I was on scene since I was picking up my own child and rushed to render aid, and a gentleman took over since I couldn't position myself well enough on my belly on the ground. I then immediately got on the phone to call 911. Except there was no cell service. It took me 2 separate phone calls on my own phone, and then I finally grabbed my daughter's and a 3rd call on her phone to get through to dispatch, totaling almost 5 minutes. I went through the call logs to double check, just to get in touch with dispatch to get medics on scene. So my first concern I bring to you is the lack of cell reception. A tower should be placed for better reception for these exact reasons. Also, a traffic light should be placed at Wicker Road behind the school or close to it to help with the traffic safety. And there's one more thing. Also very concerning, that I feel the city should step up and get involved in any way it possibly can, whatever powers be you people have. In creating a mandatory CPR course in conjunction with the curriculum of physical education. While on scene with the lack of reception, I was yelling out to all the kids standing by to assist in getting on their phones to try and get through to dispatch. While some stood still, possibly due to shock or not even having a phone, there were a few that did get on their phones, but instead to film the poor child in agony on the ground. While I understand it is also a parent's responsibility to instill empathy and compassion and the proper safety protocols in emergency situations, I feel that the school should also help by making CPR mandatory, 8th, 10th, and 12th grade, 3 new renewals every 2 years. At the very least, it puts more people in their homes, out into their community, and in turn, the world, that are capable of rendering first aid and understanding proper protocols instead of standing there trying to play camera crew for clout or likes on their social media. Thank you for your time, and I truly hope that change can be made, if not through the help of the city, but at least as the people here witnessing and listening. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Linda Blanche. And Rena Jackson is the last speaker that I show.
All right. Good to see you again, Ms. Jackson.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, City Council members, Mr. Mayor, and residents of Menifee. My name is Rena Jackson. I am here on behalf of the AJ Project, Inc. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that's committed to eradicating the illegal street racing, reckless driving, distracted driving that is prevalent in not just Menifee, but throughout California, throughout the nation. We had several parents speak this evening regarding traffic safety concerns. That is concerning for all of us. It's a community issue, as I always say. And my son attends Liberty, and he was affected by the accident as well. And we send out prayers to the young man that was hit for a full recovery of his body and his mind and his emotions as well. This morning, when I was taking my daughter to South Shore Elementary School, I witnessed a car accident in the back loop. I don't even understand how this accident happened, but the parent driving a cargo van crashed into the car in front of her and then put her car in reverse and reversed and crashed into the car behind her. And I thought she was having a medical emergency, but she wasn't. And this is at around 7:35 in the morning in the back loop with parents, kids present. And I just thank God that it wasn't more serious than it was. On October 27th, Menifee held a educational summit with 5 school districts present. And the educational summit was on safety. And I appreciate so much the fire chief putting out the proposal for the 0-minute response in the city. And that will help, in case of future accidents where more students are trained to give that CPR right on scene. But we do continue to have an issue with the illegal street racing, the reckless driving, the distracted driving. Had a wonderful meeting with Menifee Police Chief at Varso, and excited for some proposals, as well as Menifee Union School District Superintendent Dr. Root, and excited for some things that we have coming. But I would love to see a task force utilized, utilizing the community members and residents who are passionate and committed to seeing a change. If we can somehow formulate a task force. There was an 18-year-old that was ejected from her car on Monday night in Menifee on Scott Road. We have to take a stand. We have to. And it's great that people come out to these meetings, but we have to have more boots on the ground, more activism, more awareness, more education. So I thank you so much for your time. And the holidays are coming up. Please drive responsibly, drive carefully, wear your seatbelts, and encourage your students, your teenagers, to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, any other speakers this evening?
No.
All right, thank you. Will we? Yeah.
Very briefly, since we're kind of on the topic, I just wanted to maybe toss it out there to some of the folks that might be paying attention at this moment based on these comments. It was put out by our Menifee PD that the Ford Motor Company is putting out a driving skills for life event at Fontana Speedway. I'm looking at the calendar right now of available times, and on Saturday, December 3rd and Sunday, December 4th, there's still probably 50 or 60 spots available for hands-on driving. It's all free. So if there are any parents out there with kids that are learning how to drive, I've got a 15-year-old, she's going on Saturday, so it's all free. They teach you your basic road skills. They'll even put you in some maneuvers where your car might be spinning, and they teach you how to correct the car, all that sort of stuff. So even helps with your insurance rate. So if anybody's listening out there, maybe take a look at that. It's FordDrivingSkillsForLife.com.
All right, thank you. That's good information. And I just want to thank the folks who came and took the time this evening. Great message. Yes, some of those locations are just outside of our city's jurisdiction, but it doesn't mean we can't be advocates and we can't work with the school district, and that our law enforcement folks are working with the other law enforcement folks collaboratively. So we hear you and thank you. I know it's not always easy to come to the podium and speak, but it was heartfelt and we appreciate it. So thank you. All right, council members, we're going to move on our agenda now. And the next item is item 8, and that's council member comments. And so we'll start on my right with Council Member Carwin.
Thank you. This section is for updates and comments. So I want to start with a comment to kind of piggyback on some of the things. I don't know if this has ever been done, and I'll address the chief and maybe our city attorney. One of the problems that we face is that traffic violations have to be observed by the police in order for them to write citations, which is a problem that we have. I don't know if there's a middle ground where we have the authority to, I don't know, for lack of a better term, deputize volunteers to record activity and be able to put them into the chain of citation to the police where they can serve as the eyes of the police in some sort of unarmed reporting capacity where they're trained by the police and they're authorized to capture license plate numbers or maybe use I know using the laser speed detection is probably above their pay grade, but people running stop signs and things like that, whether we can have a volunteer force of some kind who's affiliated and we can have them go out there just to observe and report and issue citations similar to a traffic camera, but it'll be an actual human being there. I don't know if that program is legal or possible, but maybe we can investigate something like that. Now, going on.
All right, thank you, Councilman. And Councilmember Sobek.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I start with my comments, I too want to be able to comment on our speakers tonight. I think we're all on the same page. We recently, as it was mentioned, we had an education summit, and the theme of the education summit was safety around our schools, in our schools, the city, the schools working together to collaborate. And so what was brought up about CPR training, that has been a passion of mine, and our fire department is actually working on a plan to present to our school districts. We did find out that Santa Rosa Academy does require that. It's offered in their PE. So our goal as a council is to become one of the safest cities, and it's not just about police, it's also about fire and our residents trying to be safety. Trying to have safety. But also I've sent several emails to our city manager talking about thinking out of the box. What can we do as citizens? What can we do to educate our citizens to be better drivers to help make Menifee safer? We need to buy in of everybody. Recently, I was out at 3 different schools in the morning, and every single student did not use the crosswalk. They rode their bikes across the street without helmets on, and they were walking outside the crosswalk. So we have education to do at all levels. So I just want you to know that we've had conversations about it, and we will continue, and we are working. And I know that I'll be happy to share your information with Supervisor Washington, who covers that county area, and let him know, and I'll ask him to watch your comments tonight. And I hope that staff will also reach out to our Supervisor Washington, soon to be our supervisor, and let him know the concerns out there. So that's an avenue that we can take as well. So I just wanted to address some of those things in my comments tonight, that we're doing what we can too.
Just so you know, I did also email the parents request for the superintendent.
Yes.
So you did get an email from me. And I'm going to call the California Department of Education because I didn't really know
Okay.
why not. Check it all out.
So, all right. Well, thank you, and thank you for being here tonight. So I do want to